Obviously, you're in with a good fighter, but you are considered the heavy favorite for obvious reasons. I'm not saying look past this fight, but whenever your name comes up nowadays, people are talking Errol Spence. And I asked you about him several years ago in a fighter meeting. I said, who do you see out there that you see like a like animal, like another guy who could give you a super fight? And you mentioned Keith Thurman and a couple other guys. And I said, what about Errol Spence? And you didn't really want to put him on a different level than the other welterweights. But it seems like the public has. And the public's talking about that fight as the next big super fight. What do you think about Errol Spence and you?
Oh man, it's a tremendous fight. It's a great fight. But like I said, right now we're not focused on Errol Spence. We focus on Jose Benavidez, and that's the fight that we preparing for this Saturday.
Why this fight? I mean, listen, Benavidez can fight. He's undefeated. We get all of that. Tell me what your thoughts are about him and why we should all look forward to this fight. I mean, because one would assume this is just the latest destruction on the part of Terence Crawford in terms of what he's going to do against somebody of this magnitude. We don't view him on the same level as we view you. Is that the right mentality for us to have?
I never go in the ring looking over any opponent. He's undefeated for a reason. I'm not going to take that away from him. He's very confident in thinking he's going to beat me. We got history of not liking each other. So it makes for an intriguing fight. You know, he's tall, he's rangy. He said he's going to oppose his will on me. So it makes for a good fight come Saturday.
Did you see the UFC fight over the weekend, Terence?
I don't really care about what they're going to talk about the UFC. I watched it already, and it's not relevant. But listen, people sleeping on this fight.
Is what it is. I'm going to beat his ass.
That man was running his mouth, and when they run their mouth to Bud, it's over. He's going to whoop that ass.
Jose Benavidez, what do you think of it? There ain't nothing to think about. I'm going to knock him out. That's it. That's all.
It's funny how he says to knock me out. I wanted him to have that same energy that night. And mark my words, I'm going to beat the out of him.
It's a lot of people sleeping on the fight, and I can understand because Jose Benavidez has had some issues in life. He got shot, you know, he survived. He had a long layoff, and he had a lot of buzz with him. But when he was supposed to step up in competition, that's when, you know, he got shot. So right now, he's been on the fast track the last year and a half or so, and now, voila, he's in a title shot. This is something I saw coming a year. I was talking about this a year ago, especially when you look at how thin the stable of 147, 140, and 154-pound fighters there is over at Top Rank. Not enough wiggle room for Terence Crawford. Remember, Sean Porter, Al Heyman, Danny Garcia, Al Heyman, Errol Spence, Al Heyman, Adrian Broner, Al Heyman, Andre Berto, Al Heyman, hell, Luis Collazo, Al Heyman, Jose Zito Lopez, for crying out loud, Al Heyman. The list goes on and on and on. Keith Thurman, Al Heyman now, Manny Pacquiao, Al Heyman. So I understand the politics behind it, but Benavidez is not a bad pick for a fight. This is the first, I was going to say this was the first time he fighting somebody really, truly number one in their prime. He had Felix Diaz. I'm rank Jose Benavidez to be a better opponent. No. I'm trying to figure out if I rank Jose Benavidez to be a better opponent pre-fight, before they fight, at the time in their career than Victor Postol. See, Victor Postol was active, and he did put an end to Lucas Matisse, took his career. He's better than John Molina. Felix Diaz, Julius Ndango had the belts, but he's better than Julius Ndango. We all know the story with Jeff Horn. So, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to say that he's the best. He's out of Molina, it's a toss-up between Postol and Felix Diaz. But he's a better opponent than Molina. Yes, Julius Ndango had the belts, and it was for undisputed. And he's more better skilled than Jeff Horn. I said it. I said it. I said it. I said it. All right? I've been covering these people for all these years. I've been watching these fights. Unfortunately, let me see if I can find you a clip. I remember trying to find it and I couldn't because they were on ESPN Plus. Hold on. Benavidez versus Rojas. I did watch it because it's highlighted. Man, I hope they know I'm trying to promote this fight. Sometimes they, copyright you for like the weirdest stuff. And it's like, bro, like, I'm trying to promote this fight. This was his last fight. Did I cover this? Hold on 1 minute. I had to, right? I covered Strode.
Benavidez, after a 19-month layoff, wins it tonight here in Corpus Christi.
Good stop.
Benavidez.
Well, he's.
So one more look at it. Benavidez, a winner tonight in the
I got the same hoodie on. I got the same, and I never wear this hoodie anymore. Wow.
round.
Yeah, I did cover that. But I don't think I covered the, I don't know why I didn't cover the Rojas fight. Benavidez versus Rojas post-fight. I mean, I was still recovering from my coma. Well, anyway, he knocked out Rojas in the first round. Like the kick and box, man. The kick and box. Like, I've been really taking exception to people saying, damn, he fucked up. I've been really taking exception to people saying, like, who the fuck is Jose Benavidez? He's a bum. Obviously, that's his brother. But it is what it is. The press conference is going to be tomorrow on ESPN Plus. I'm going to be covering the press conference. Also, thank you to a friend of mine out in Omaha. He's got his credentials for the fight. So we're going to be covering the weigh-in and fight night. And, of course, I'm going to be covering the card. Let me show you the card real quick. Shakur Stevenson is having his first 10 rounds. Oh, they don't have it. I got to go to mine. My website is up and running. We're making some final renovations, but if you want to see the boxing rankings updated monthly, because the sanctioning bodies update monthly, and then when the champion loses, we update them. We also update our schedule weekly. So here's the card right here. The link is right down for FightView360.com down in the description box. Damn it, wrong screen. You got Shakur Stevenson stepping up in a 10-round fight. We actually have the article. You know what? Let me do it this way. Let me do it this way. Where we at? Where we at? Right here. All my videos are on the website, by the way. This is our fight week. Okay, so here's the card. So you got Michaela Mayer. I'm going to be checking this out, covering this. We cover all televised women's boxing. Shakur Stevenson is going to be taking on Darren View for the vacant WBC Continental Americas title. Okay. So, obviously, you can see on ESPN Plus is the undercards, and then the main event is going to be on 10:30 on regular ESPN. Also, the last ESPN Plus with Jerwin Cajas versus Santiago was like the best card I've seen in a while, like top to bottom. No bullshit. I'm talking about in regards to excitement. But, yeah. I say this, right? I was going to say earlier, and I forgot to say it, that I think that Terence Crawford in his post-fight interview, because they're trying to bait him to do it, he's got to call out Errol Spence. I mean, I know he wants it because he's been talking about it on social media, but I want him to say, okay, Errol Spence, where you at? Because looking at it, and remember, I do many videos throughout the fight week, you know, so it's going to be a lot of things I missed to talk about. I mean, I didn't talk about in this video that I'm going to talk about in the press conference video, in the weigh-in video, you know, and, you know, whatever videos I do in between that, like this random first take video. But looking at the division, it's like one of these guys are going to be his mandatory, and fans are going to be like, oh, boo, even if it is a mandatory. But we want to see him versus Errol Spence. Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia is not happening now. It's likely that Errol Spence is going to be taking on Luis Collazo or somewhere along the lines of that. And it doesn't look too good, you know, for him, since he was clowning, you know, or trying to clown Crawford for, you know, fighting Jeff Horn, now Benavidez. These guys are on a collision course. But the thing is, the heavy, deep politics with the fact that Terence Crawford is over on ESPN. He is ESPN when it comes to boxing. And when it comes to Errol Spence, Showtime Al Heyman is not letting him go. You know? Well, okay, we can listen to a little bit, I guess. I really don't want to. I don't think he's going to talk anything about boxing. You know, I don't like that I mean, I understand he had to get his point across from, you know, on the Khabib situation. But why talk more about that than his actual fight coming up?
Well, Terence ain't playing either.
Well, we know that's for sure. Terence, appreciate you.
When you say that was a good thing, the reason I ask you is because...
See, I don't want to hear anymore. But anyway, I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.